Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going fabulous. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to create 10 cards with the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for June 2021. This month's card kit is called Wild Hello, but there's lots of birthday elements in here and we all need birthday cards, and I love the colors. They're bright and cheery. The dies this month in the kit are fabulous. This is the Big Thanks. We are going to do some die cutting with the gold mirror cardstock that was included in the kit. Now, if you want to know what's in the kit, guys, I'll leave the unboxing at the end. You can head over there and check that out. It tells you everything that's in the kit, because that's what we're going to be using for all of our cards today. I do bring in a few items, and I'll link them in the description area, but for the most part, it's all kit contents. Now, I added some double-sided adhesive behind the gold mirror cardstock, and then I cut out the Big Thanks. You can see it's chopped off. The lettering is. I did that intentional because I just wanted the dotted detail strip. We're going to create a pattern paper background with multiple prints, and I thought this is a nice separator for the pattern papers. So I'm going to do that 6 times, and then also die cut out the Big Things. You can see the adhesive on the back. I chose the adhesive only because sometimes the gold mirror cardstock takes a long time to dry. So this is just going to save me some time. Now, I did trim down lots of strips of pattern paper. These are 3/4 inch strips. And then I have a panel size that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. I trimmed that down with the white cardstock in this month's kit. That's your double-sided adhesive. You could use this for all the cards today for adhering your pattern papers and your embellishments to your card, but I'm using my tape runner only because it's faster, guys. But the double-sided tape works great. Okay, I'm kind of figuring out which pattern is going to go where. And you can see I am going to have by the time we're done, we're going to have about 1/2 inch of white cardstock showing. Now, I did that intentional for the Big Thanks. I want to be able to see it behind the white cardstock. Now, these little strips that we trimmed off the Big Thanks, in the close-ups you'll be able to see, or after I'm finished with my card here, you'll see a close-up. But the dotted detail is really pretty. It almost looks like a chain, a jewelry, some kind of metal on your card. It just adds nice little detail. So I adhered my first 3/4 inch strip. We're going to add our gold little piece, and then we're going to go ahead and add our next strip. This is the orange with the stars. And then once these are adhered, we're going to skip and go to the top. This way I can kind of evenly space. And I just continued it down. I added the yellow, the gold, and then the print paper, and then the gold, and then so forth. Now we're going to go ahead and add our thanks. You can see the thanks fits in there just perfectly. And we do have that white area of our panel showing, and that's where we're going to put one of our chipboard stickers. I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess. You could actually keep the excess, guys, and make another card with it if you wanted to. But I love creating, when pattern papers are so pretty, I just love mixing and matching them on Card Friends. Okay, so that's basically our background panel. I'm going to go ahead and take some baker's twine. This is Licorice Twist baker's twine. I'm going to wrap it around the orange portion of the pattern paper twice, and then we'll tie a bow off to the left here. We're going to kind of incorporate black and white into all of our cards today. I think black and white looks great with bright colors. I added some fun foam from my stash behind my panel here, and then we're going to take my corner rounder. This is actually a nice little gadget. I'll link it below, but I'm going to corner around the top left and top right corners on my panel and also on my card base, just to give it a little something different. And then we'll take our panel and put it in the center of our card base. Again, our panel measures 4 inches by 5 1/4, so we do have a little bit of a white border. We're going to use some die cut pieces for embellishing. I have the giraffe and the 2 gold hearts that are in the die cut pack. I did add foam adhesive behind all of those, and then that is card number 1. We're going to move along to card number 2 and do some stamping. I'm stamping on one of the journaling cards that came in the kit this month. the font is almost the same exact font as the journaling cards. So I'm stamped Bravo on the bottom, and then I scooted my panel over and stamped Bravo one more time on the very bottom. So we have Bravo, Bravo. After we have our sentiment done, we're going to go ahead and trim down our journaling card. Now our journaling card ends up being like a long rectangle. I like that, but it says more sunshine, more smiles, more laughter, more happiness, more flowers, more rainbows, and more love. Bravo, bravo. Okay, after we have this done, this is going to be a very simple card. We're going to take this pattern paper. It does have gold embossed detail on here. I'm going to trim this down so it measures 3 3/4 inches wide, and then we're going to adhere this to our card base. So basically this pattern paper is going to be 5.5 inches tall. Once that's adhered, I did pop up my journaling card with fun foam, and then I added the little heart from the die cut pack right at the very top center. Now, keeping this on the simple side, all I'm going to do is add some faux stitching along the left and right of the pattern paper, and that is card number 2. Keeping it clean, but I love the bright colors of it. Now for my next card, card number 3, we're going to go ahead and take a border die set that I have in my stash. This is from Fun Stamper's Journey, and it's called Border Essentials. It has a zigzag or a border, and I thought that'd be nice and playful for the cards today. So I did die cut that out with some black cardstock, and then we're taking the yellow pattern paper. It measures 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. I matted that on the yellow cardstock that came with the kit this month, just to give it a little bit of a weight, because we are going to end up popping it up, but also the yellow cardstock is a little bit brighter, and I thought it'd be perfect for sunshine. We're going to stamp the sentiment from our stamp set that says, "I hope your day is filled with hugs and smiles," with Memento ink on the very bottom of our pattern paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to add some foam adhesive behind it eventually. First, we're going to add our little border. I'm just going to clean off my stamp, and then I'll take our tape runner, add some tape on the left side, or I'm sorry, right side of our sentiment piece. Add our little border. You could use any kind of border strip, guys, if you wanted to, but I just thought this was, usually I use scallops, but this is nice little change, and plus it kind of goes with the sunshine theme. All those little points. Okay, I did add foam adhesive behind my panel. We're going to pop it up and place this a little bit more towards the right or the left of our card, because we have that scallop kind of balancing it in the center. Now I did die cut out a piece of vellum. This is actually a 2 1/4 inch circle that I created with vellum, and then we did pop up our sun from our die cut pack on top of that vellum. Okay, we need an extra sentiment, and I thought the chipboard sticker that was a thought bubble that said a happy hello would go perfect. Since we have that bold black strip, I think the black thought bubble is going to go beautifully with it. I adhered that, and I did add foam adhesive behind it, so that's popped up as well. I had some monster eyes in my stash. I added 2 of them, and then I used my black marker to create a smile. If you look on that sunshiny pattern paper in your background, I don't think I told you the size of that, but I adhered that sunshiny paper. It measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches to my card base, but I used the smile on that pattern paper as a guide on my smile for my sunshine. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add some twine, the same black licorice, and then that finishes off our card. Now next, card number 4 is a little bit more simpler. In fact, this is probably the simplest one I've created for my 10 cards. But I have a piece of pattern paper, and it measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. We're going to take that corner rounder and round all 4 edges of this paper, and we're going to do the same thing to our card base. We're just going to punch all 4 corners, giving this we're going to be using one of the journaling cards, and I thought we'll just make everything rounded corner. I think that just goes really nice. We're going to adhere this pattern paper to the front of our card base, and then I did die cut out the center of this journaling card, it says Sending Smiles and Sunshine. I just used my circle die and cut out this the center sentiment. Now I did this just so I could pop it up. I'm popping up my journaling card, you can see here, with foam squares, and then I did add 2 layers of foam adhesive, so my sentiment is a little level higher and kind of stands out. We're going to place that back in the center. Last but not least, we're going to add our "You Are Awesome" sentiment. I did add foam adhesive behind it, and we're going to make sure that this kind of overlaps on the right side. And then that is my clean and simple card, card number 4. Now moving along to card number 5, we're going to make a birthday card. So I have the Celebrate die. We're going to die cut that out with white cardstock. And again, we're going to take the same border die and die cut this out with white cardstock as well. Once they're cut out, we're going to grab some pattern papers. I have the number pattern paper. It's really pretty, and I thought the numbers would go perfect for a birthday card. It measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to adhere that to our card base. And then I have that diagonal striped pattern paper. It measures 2.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. This is going to go in the center of our card. Once that is adhered, I have a couple die cut pieces. I have the tag and also the birthday cake. Before we add those, I want to take the Celebrate and add a thin bead of glue along the strip portion, and we're going to adhere that to the our little border piece. Whatever's overhanging, I'm going to trim off with my scissors, and then I'm going to add foam adhesive behind it. But we're going to line up that edge to the edge, and I think I'm going to add my acrylic block over the top to help weigh that down. And in the meantime, we're going to thread some of that black licorice twine through our tag. We're going to adhere that to our card base along with our Celebrate. The Celebrate I wanted to be at an angle, and I thought maybe we'd add some of that twine to it. I'm not sure about that. We'll see. But I did tie a bow and place my tag a little bit wonky along with my Celebrate. Next we're going to pop up our birthday cake with foam adhesive. Place that next to the C on the Celebrate. And then we're going to bring in some of our Thought Bubble stickers. There's lots of birthday ones in here. I chose Make a Wish. We're going to add adhesive behind it and place that next to our cake. And I think we're going to grab one more. I chose Wish Big. I like the color, and it kind of goes with our birthday cake. And I popped that with foam adhesive as well. We're going to sparkle up this birthday card. I'm adding some diamond stickles along the seam of our Celebrate in our border there. And then I did add it to the birthday cake as well. Didn't add it too well, so I have to spread out some of that glitter with my tool-in-one. But I just thought we were missing some black on this card. So I'm going to, again, take some of that black and white baker's twine. And since we added a thin bead of that stickles, we're going to use the stickles like it's glue. And just add some of this twine right at the seam where we added the stickles. This way when it dries, there's be a little sparkle behind it, but that twine's not going to go anywhere. But it did add the stripe detail, and I think that's just what it needed. But that's my Celebrate card. Now we're going to move along to card number 6. We're going to take the little giraffe that's in our stamp set. Love these little images, and they're super easy to color in. I'm going to stamp this with Memento ink on some white cardstock. I changed my craft mat, and I'm not sure about it, but that's why you see me bringing in all these extra mats for stamping on, because my desk is actually real wood, and it's kind of very porous. I can't slide nothing on it, and so it's easier for me to add a little, I had this little craft mat, so I thought it worked out perfect. I don't think Spellbinders sells this anymore. I tried to find it for you guys a while back, but so I know if you're going to ask about this little tiny grid mat, I don't think Spellbinders has it anymore. Sorry guys. Well, coloring this little giraffe is super duper easy. You can see I'm just using 2 colors. I listed that in the corner for you guys. I have Y15 and then YR23 for a little shading. I wasn't sure where to shade, so you see me pausing a lot. He's really cute, but it's kind of an odd shape to find shading for. So 2 colors worked out perfect. Just gonna blend them together and he's good to go. I'm gonna use my scissors and we're gonna fussy cut this little guy out. And then once he's fussy cut out, we are going to work on our background. But isn't he cute? Let's zoom back out, grab some pattern papers. I have 2 strips of the orange and yellow, and then this for my background. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to adhere this to some white cardstock that's the same measurements. I'm adhering it to some cardstock because we're going to pop this panel up, and the paper is on the lighter weight side, so I need a little bit of weight to pop it up so it doesn't buckle. Next we're going to add our strips of pattern paper. I have, again, this is the yellow first, kind of has a grid pattern to it, and then we have this orange one that has little X's on it. I want to put the rainbow tucked behind the orange, and as I did it I thought, you know, let's add a little dimension to this. So I'm adding some foam adhesive behind that orange piece, and it's small enough strip. These are actually 3/4 inch strips, guys, to where I don't need to add cardstock behind it. But once I added this, I'm going to pop up my rainbow and tuck it behind that orange paper, so it's just got a little bit of dimension to it. Next we have our hello, and then have a wild day sentiments from our die cut pack. We're going to add some foam adhesive behind them, add the hello on just on the orange pattern paper so that the top portion of the hello is overhanging. We're going to remove the release paper off of our little giraffe, place them in that rainbow area, and then we'll add our have a wild day. We popped that up with foam adhesive too. Now I did end up rounding the corner, just the top right corner of my pattern paper and my card base. And I also, again, popped that panel up with foam adhesive. So that finishes card number 6. Now sometimes when I create a card, I like something just the way it is. And I thought that this little puffy sticker sheet was, I love the colors for one, okay, but I love just the way they looked, and there's quite a bit in here. So I thought we would create a thought bubble background using these. There's birthday sentiments in here, there's thank yous. I skipped those and used the more generic sentiments, the more general ones, I should say. So I used hooray for today, sending hugs, wow, hello, and we're going to adhere them to a piece of acetate. I have a piece of acetate that measures 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches, and the same size for the black cardstock that I trimmed down. The black cardstock came in the kit this month, guys. I just evenly spaced them, kind of filling in that acetate. And then we're going to adhere that black cardstock directly to our card base. Now we're flipping our acetate over and adding foam squares behind it to give this a little bit of dimension. But you know what, guys, this would be a cute little gift too, because I think you can remove those little puffy stickers since it's on acetate. So it's kind of a fun little card. I did decide to add some of that black and white baker's twine. I just ran it through the card and tied a bow off to the side here, but I love the dimension with the foam and behind those thought bubbles, but it's a pretty simple card, but I like the colors of it, so it's a little something different. Now we're going to move along to card 8. This is kind of a lot going on card, but this it's going to be a birthday card. So I'm going to start off by adhering a panel of the stripe paper that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 to my card base. Next, I have some of that orange pattern paper. We're going to add that to some of the yellow cardstock. It could be any color cardstock because I'm just using it basically for stability, because we're going to pop that panel up with foam adhesive. I'm going to add some adhesive to the right side, and then I did trim down some of that white border that we've been using. just a small piece on the side of it for a little bit of extra white in our card. I'm going to add fun foam behind it for some dimension, and then we're going to place this a little bit more towards the left on our card base. Next, I have a 2 3/4 inch wide strip of our printed pattern paper there. I did fishtail the very bottom, and it ends up measuring 4 inches tall after the fishtail. Next, we're bringing in, and most of this pattern paper that I'm using too are the scraps from earlier cards. So I'm taking some of this orange or yellow pattern paper. It trimmed this down to 2 inches and 3/4 wide by 1 1/4 inches tall. I did take one of my die cut pieces that says just saying and put it behind that pattern paper, and then popped it up with foam adhesive, and then added my happy birthday. You could see here the happy birthday actually die cut out during my unboxing. So there's my happy birthday. I left enough room for one of the chipboard lions, and then we're going to add foam adhesive to his head so we can add the little die cut hat to bring in a little pink to our card. Last but not least, I'm going to add some gems. These are color essential gems. This is the crystal mix, so kind of a neutral color. I'm going to add a few here and there for this happy birthday card, but that finishes off card number 8. Now we're going to move along card number 9. I have some pattern paper that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's the tropical pattern. We're adhering that to our card base. And then I have some white cardstock that I trimmed down to 2 1/2 inches wide by 3 3/4 inches tall. We're going to take that little zebra in our stamp set, and we're going to do some create a background with him. So I have Memento ink, and I do want to stamp my sentiment on this panel. So to keep some areas white, I'm going to bring in some low tack tape. This is actually electric tape. I trimmed it down to a 3/4 inch strip, and then we're going to adhere that to the lower portion of our panel. I need to make sure it's straight so I don't get my sentiment crooked, but this way I can cover the entire background with zebras. We're going to go ahead and ink up our zebra and just fill in the background with some wonky zebras. Now I don't want any zebras that are going straight up and down, only because we're going to stamp a zebra and fussy cut him out, and he's going to be going straight up and down. So just to make him a little normal while the others are not, I guess. But we are going to add a little shading with my C1 marker to our little zebra. Zebras are pretty easy. I didn't do that to our background panel, but fussy cut him out. He's good to go. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. We're going to remove our low tack tape here. You can see the area is perfect for a sentiment. Now there's some fun sentiments in our stamp set, so I chose Be Fearless and Extraordinary. We're going to mat this panel on some of the pink cardstock that came with the kit this month, just slightly larger piece, and then we'll stamp our sentiment with our Memento ink. And we're stamping it a little bit more towards the right, only because we're going to put our zebra to the left. He's going to be overhanging a bit, but and then you can see I do have some extra die cut pieces. I have that tropical leaf piece, and then 2 of the black and white leaves. We're going to cluster those together. I do have a little overhanging. We'll trim that off, and then I did add my zebra right on top there. So cute. So I think this is pretty busy card, but I just think the black and white kind of makes it go good. But that's my Fearless card there. Next, for my final card today, we're going to adhere some of the leftover stripe pattern paper. It actually measures 2 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to adhere that to the right of our card base. It's not quite the length of our card base, so we need to center it on the left here. After we have that adhered, I did stamp the sentiment that's in the stamp set, and it says happiest wishes on your birthday. I stamped it on black cardstock to the left, and then we're going to adhere it to a 2 1/4 inch circle that we die cut out with our yellow pattern paper there. Once we have that adhered, I'll take that entire piece and pop it up with some foam adhesive and place that on our card base a little bit towards the bottom. And then I do have the candles and then the bunting there, the banners. I did add a foam adhesive behind all of those already. So we're going to remove the release paper and add our banner here on the striped paper. And then we'll add our candles. We're going to alternate with the height of the candles. So it'll go high, low, or maybe low, high. And we have 4 candles in the die cut pack, so I used all 4. Now this is a birthday card, so I want to add sparkle, so I'm going to add sparkle to the candle flames and to the bunting, even to the stripes in the background. Diamond stickles is very subtle, so I kind of went a little crazy with it for my card here, but that finishes card 10, guys. So now we're going to look at all 10 cards used with the Spellbinders, or created with the Spellbinders Card Kit of the month for June 2021. Again, this month's kit is called Hello Wild, or no, Wild Hello, and I think it's so fun and cheery and summery, and I love that you can create lots of birthday cards because we all need lots of birthday cards. But if you want to see still shots, guys, go ahead and visit my blog, and I thought it'd be fun to put my favorite card of all 10 as the main picture on my blog too. So if you want to know which one of these cards is my favorite, you can figure that out by heading to my blog. It'll have one big picture, and then it'll have 3 rows of 3 of the rest of the cards. But thanks so much for joining me. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.